Hey guys, we're talking canvases today.
Okay, so picking your canvas is one of the most important things that you can do as an artist. It depends on what you're using. For the most part, that can kind of dictate on, sort of the direction that you want to go. You have a bunch of different things that you can choose from, whether you're a painter, whether you work with charcoal pastels, whether you work with watercolor, even scratchboard. You have your scratchboard canvas as well. And it just depends on the thickness that you want, and you can use the canvas to your advantage as well. Whenever you're laying down your piece, you want to think about texture, and a canvas can really provide some good texture. In this case here, if you can see up close, kind of move it around there, and that might be pretty good. About right in there, that's watercolor paper, so you can see all the ridges in there where it's going to soak up the water. You can get different thicknesses with that. You can get super thick watercolor paper. You can get some thinner watercolor paper too. This is just kind of basic paper here. So this is along the same lines of the thinner ones. But this absorbs the water, but at the same time you're going to see a lot of this come through. You can use that to your advantage with different textures. For me, watercolor pencils, for instance, I come in, I can smooth those out. So I can pick and pull between those different textures. If I want a smooth section here and a rough section here, that can start drawing your eye in and start moving you around a page. So things like that are very crucial, especially with watercolor. Charcoal, for instance, I use medium tooth paper quite a bit for my charcoal. You can use smooth paper as well. You can use the really, really rough stuff. If you go super thick with this, then it's going to be along the same lines as the watercolor. It's going to be thicker paper. It's going to absorb the charcoal more, but you're going to get that texture coming through. This will kind of give you an example of it here. This is canvas, of course, but you can see all the different textures that I have in there with just these little shapes. Just doing some practicing. You can see that I can work with those different textures. I can start to smooth out some. I can start to get real rough with some. And you can control that with the canvas. You can do that with gesso. So anytime you lay gesso over top of your canvas, if you're doing canvases by hand, you can control the thickness of that gesso. If you're buying it at the store, obviously you can check the different thicknesses on there, the way they're laying down. But generally speaking, they're all going to be about the same when you buy it from a store. So if you do your own canvas here, and this is just kind of a crude mock-up of one with the stretcher bars, but I put the gesso over top, and so you can see, and I can mess with that different texture. So picking your canvas is very, very crucial. It's actually just as important as the utensils you use and the setup. So keep all that in mind and keep drawing, and we'll see you soon.